Good morning, everybody. Today, the functional med mom and I, Andrea, are going to talk about getting kids to play outside. The first thing I want to talk about is how come kids don't want to play outside. Does it seem like when you were little, all you did was play outside, but today you send kids outside and they're bored, they're whiny, they don't know what to do? Just want to let you know that humans are not born knowing how to play. We learn how to play. Humans are born with a curiosity to explore the world. The other thing is that humans are born to explore the easiest route. Example, if you and your friend were going to go for a walk, would you choose the path that is flat, sunny, birds chirping, or the path that is steep, windy, and rainy? We would all choose the path that is flat and easy to explore rather than the steep hill. There's a few of us that'd rather do that one, but whatever. Point is, children are going to explore the easiest route. iPads are easy. Apps are easy. The games are made for them. The iPad interacts with them. They don't have to think. They don't have to create. They don't have to engage with an annoying friend and share toys, right? So they will choose iPad. So for a lot of us, we got to kick them outside, where you got to invent the game. You got to deal with the weather. You got to deal with the neighbors and friends. You got to. This is what happened with my kids because we fought the same battles. I sent my kids outside and they were only allowed to watch as much screen time as the time they played outside. So example, for every 1 minute they played outside, they earned 1 minute of screen time. If they didn't play outside, there was no screen time.
So why do we really feel like it's so much more dangerous for kids to be outside today than we used to? I think a lot of it is just how quickly news comes to us, which makes us so much aware when patterns, because the world is a more dangerous place by any means. In fact, I think the world is probably a lot more safer than it once was, and it's definitely not more dangerous for our kids to be outside. So we have to move past that fear, which I know Dr. Anna is going to talk about too, but I wanted to touch on it as well. We have to move past that fear and not hand down our fears to our children. And that's really, really important, because when our kids see that we're fearful of something, they're going to become fearful of something. And we have to lead by example. And I am, like I said, absolutely guilty of this. I kind of became a germaphobe and OCD, and I had a hard time being outside as a young adult because of all of the information that came at me. And so now I'm having to retrain myself and my kids. So this tip is kind of 2-in-1. Like, you have to let go of the fear and not hand your fears down to your kids. And then you also have to lead by example, right? You have to be outdoors. You have to immerse yourself, and you have to get out there with your kids. So that's kind of my first tip. Really recognize what is holding you back and your kids back. Where are those fears and where are they coming from? And are you handing your fears to your children? And then lead by example. And you've got to get out there with them, whatever that takes to get outside. Just a few.
We are afraid that our children are going to get hurt. So we don't let them play outside because it's safer inside. It's safer on an iPad. So you think. However, children are supposed to get hurt. They're supposed to break bones. They're supposed to get stitches. I know that's really scary, but you're supposed to explore the world and get hurt. That's how you learn, right? So we put mulch on our playgrounds. Awesome. Helmets when we ride bikes, scooters, or skateboards. And then let them go outside and play. They're supposed to fall down. My kids have broken bones and cut themselves. Yeah, you got to go to the ER and sometimes surgery, and you got to get stitches, and they heal. I'll tell you what, it is easier to heal from physical scars from playing outside than it is to heal from emotional scars that happen when you're on your iPad inside, never seeing the sunshine, not dealing with the world, and being surrounded by physical scars from playing outside than it is to heal from emotional scars that happen when you're on your iPad inside, never seeing the sunshine, not dealing with the world, and being surrounded.
So this kind of goes hand in hand again with what Dr. Anna is talking about as far as limiting screen time. And as she stated, you can have your kids earn their screen time by matching it with their outside play. We tend to take things a little bit further around here with our 3 boys. And perhaps you could mesh the two, but during the school week for us, most weeks we do not allow pad time. or video game time. I may allow a little bit of TV in the morning and a little bit of TV before bed perhaps. Most of the time during the school week, we actually don't allow pad time. Good behavior at school during the week and being respectful and helpful around the house and all of those things will earn the video game pad time for the weekend. And again, there's always caveats to that. Sick kids, super rainy days perhaps. But that's another option. Like, hey, this just isn't something we do during the school week. Like, we'll do it when we have.
Another interesting observation is that we as parents have created a negative feel for the outdoors. Do you look at the weather app and you're like, ooh, it's raining. Oh, it's so hot today. Gosh, it's really cold. Oh, the wind. Okay, all those facial expressions and your continuous discussion about the weather in a negative way makes kids afraid to go outside. Oh no, what do we do if it's cold? There's hats, people, and scarves. Oh no, it's too hot. Okay, there's shade and water. Oh no, it's rainy. Most of us have rain boots and an awesome umbrella. Just be careful of the message that you give your children because of your fears. Because when we portray fear of the outside, it makes kids less likely excited to go and explore the outdoors.
And so my last tip for this is to get creative. You have to teach your kids how to play, which means you're going to have to play with them. So get creative and make the outdoors fun. Make your backyard fun. You can do scavenger hunts. My husband just recently made the kids a cornhole set with some spare wood. Get creative in what is offered for them outside and help them figure out how to explore something that homeschool has brought to us that has been amazing, that so many of you recommended to me. Again, you guys are always teaching me, is, as far as science goes, to create a nature journal for Jackson. And that has been the most brilliant thing, because whether we're at home in the front yard, the backyard, or we're out exploring and on a walk or a hike, he can bring that journal with him. And so the journal is great, but it's really this tool that excites their imagination and their creative play and their need to explore. And now you guys have seen us redoing our yard. Jackson spent the entire time looking for earthworms, and he had this very specific space that he moved them all to. And then him and his brothers are just sitting there and exploring these little earthworms and learning about them. And it's really beautiful what such a simple thing as a journal, as something we take outside and we can sit there and we can draw or we can write about what we're hearing, seeing, smelling, and we can talk about it. It excites the senses and really triggers these kids who have this natural instinct to want to explore things, to really do it, to get creative in their exploration and their adventure. And yeah, that is my last tip. Immerse yourself in outdoors, ground with your kids, teach them why it's so important, why the sunlight is so important, why grounding with the earth is so important, and how it balances us and how we're meant to be connected with nature. Go back to your childhood.
I hope this was helpful and it helps alleviate some of the stressors or some of the fears that you may be having in getting your kids to play outside, and give you the encouragement to go out and play with them. Have a great weekend, everybody.